Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Summer Summary series in which I will be discussing every NBA team's off-season. My last video was on the LA Lakers and the link should be on the top left of your screen. So if you want to watch that video, just click it and you'll be taken right to it. I am still in the Pacific Division and I will be talking about the Sacramento Kings today. They had a rather disappointing season last year. Tyreke Evans couldn't live up to the expectations they had for him. Jimmy Fredette, for one, was a no-show once again, and DeMarcus Cousins, he only started performing towards the end of the season when it was too late already, and on top of all of that, there was talks that they would lose the franchise, that it would go back to Seattle, but eventually that didn't happen. So let's see what kind of changes they made this summer and how it will affect them in the long run. The first thing they did, they got in Chris Mullin. I know he's not a player anymore, he's a Hall of Famer, but they got him in as a more kind of advisory role. So I don't know exactly what they envision him to do. Maybe he can do the same thing with the Kings as Larry Bird did with the Pacers. So let's see what it brings. They signed a few rookies. They got Trent Lockett, Ray McCallum, and their top 10 pick Ben McLemore. They only signed one free agent, which is Carl Landry, who came from the Golden State Warriors, but they did have two trades. The first one was a three-team trade together with the Pelicans and Portland. The Kings, they only got Grievous Vasquez from the Pelicans, but the Pelicans, they got a few other players. They got Tyreke Evans and Jeff Whitney from Portland. And Portland, in return, they got Robin Lopez and Tyrell Harris from the Pelicans. So with that said, let's take a look at their starting five. They've got Grievous Vasquez, or maybe Isaiah Thomas. I think rather Vasquez is going to start, but we'll see what happens. They got Ben McLemore at shooting guard, Luke Richard and Ba Amute at the small forward, Jason Thompson at power forward, and DeMarcus Cousins, of course, at center. On the bench, they've got Ray McCallum, Patrick Patterson, Travis Outlaw, Chuck Hayes, Carl Landry, John Salmons, Marcus Thornton, and Jimmy Fredette and Isaiah Thomas. So a little something on those last two guys real fast. For one, I think Thomas will take over as a starter in the nearby future, especially if he can form a dynamic duo with McLemore. And the second one is Jimmy Fredette. Now, if I was that guy, I would just train my ass off. You know, the Kings already stated that he's allowed to leave in exchange for the right price. So that's just a nice way of saying, we want you the fuck out, but we just can't. So he hasn't delivered at all. And if I were the Kings, I'd say the D-League is the best answer for them. I know maybe that will get him in some kind of groove, but I have no clue what the future will hold for him if he just keeps on playing like he did in the last few seasons. So what do I expect from them exactly this season? At the moment, I don't think they are going to make the playoffs, but they do have all the right tools to be able to do so in the future. You know, at the end of last season, like I already said, Cousins really got into a groove and showed flashes of his true potential, so I hope he can keep building on that performance. They already talked to him, you know, after Evans left, and they want him to be the face of the franchise, and he said that he's ready to take on the challenge. So if he performs, they probably will sign him to a big extension. If not, I don't know, I think he's out of there. He will become a free agent probably after next season. So maybe he can go to the Wizards and play with John Wall again. So we'll see what happens with him. But of course, I hope he stays with them and he gets a nice run started with McLemore. You know, McLemore already stated that he's ready to fight for the Rookie of the Year award. So whether he gets the one or not, if he can perform at a high level straight off the bat and keep it that way, he'll definitely be able to flush away the bad taste Evans left. I'm not saying Evans was a bad player, but he got off to a really great start and he just went downhill from there. So we'll see how those two guys perform in the coming games and seasons. If they live up to their potential, I do think Sacramento will be a more attractive destination for high-profile free agents, especially if they can get into the playoffs before they sign that, you know, star or high-profile free agent. So, okay, that's it for the Kings. And the next team will be the last team in the Pacific Division, and that's the Phoenix Suns. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'll be back soon with some more videos on the NBA. Peace!
Whose world is this? The world is yours. the world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine.